Hi, love bugs. For anyone that may be new here, my name is Marissa Yvonne, and this is a place where we love God, we love ourselves, and we love others. My channel is all about being the intersection between faith and fashion, so we're going to serve the Lord, but baby, we're going to serve the look as well. So in today's video, we are doing the 333 styling method. This method has gone viral on TikTok thanks to the creator Rachel Spencer, who shared with us her styling method for putting together outfits as well as packing, where she will take 3 tops, 3 bottoms, and 3 pairs of shoes and use those items interchangeably to create different outfits. Now, I'm going to do it the Carolyn Gray way because she was the one that actually introduced me to the styling method, where she takes the 3 tops, the 3 bottoms, the 3 pairs of shoes, and then she chooses 3 additional items to help put together those complete looks. And so that is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to make this video all about work edition. For my job, I'm a hybrid worker, so that means sometimes I am remote working from home, and then sometimes I am outside of the home, in the office, in the community, that kind of thing. And so majority of the time my job is business casual, but sometimes I lean casual, sometimes I lean business. It really just depends on what I have to do that day. And so that is kind of the framework behind the pieces that I chose and how we're going to put together those outfits. So now let's take a look into the pieces that I chose. So starting with tops, this is one of the first tops that I chose. It is a mock neck tank bodysuit that is from Temu. It came in a pack of 4. If you are not new here and you've seen especially my last 2 videos, then you definitely have seen me style this. I've worn this to work. I've styled this in my spring video, outfit video. So I've definitely been getting a lot of love out of this piece, and I felt like it was a great piece to pull out because I do want to make sure that the outfits that I'm putting together today are going to be appropriate for the season that we're in and the season that we'll be going into. And so I felt like this was a great piece. So next up, we have this Corvette graphic tee that is from Target. And I know you might be like, a graphic tee? But you said it's business casual. Sometimes I can do casual, and I believe that graphic tees can still give business casual. They can still give smart casual. And so I believe that this is a great option to think about how to wear clothes to work differently. I think that this is a great place to start, that we don't have to just leave our graphic tees for just casual streetwear, running errands kind of things, but we can actually take our graphic tees to the work. And here is our next top. It is this powder blue button down. I wanted to do something a little different. I think button downs are immediately a thought process that we often take when it comes to dressing up for work. We think of a button down, but I wanted to give it a different take because I think we oftentimes reach for our white button downs, and I think we know white button down is very beneficial. It can take you anywhere you want to go, honestly. But I thought to do something a little different, to add blue, so that I'm adding more color, because one of the things that I also wanted to task myself with, which you will see in this video, is there is not going to be any black. Shocker, right? I know, but there's not going to be any black, because as I'm challenging myself to do the styling method, I'm also challenging myself to incorporate my color, and I felt like leaning for a blue button down would be the best way to do that. And this is a thrifted button up that I got from my local Goodwill, and so a great way to add a little color and to do a little twist on a very traditional take. Next up, I chose these medium wash Levi bootcut jeans. They have no rips or tears in them, so I do believe that they are very work appropriate. I've worn these to work, and I believe that because of the style of the jean, the wash of the jean, it's very easy to style, and it's very functional. It can be dressed up or dressed down depending on what you need to do for your workplace. So these were a great fit, and like I said, I lean towards business casual, so sometimes I'm on the more casual side, sometimes I'm on the more business side, and that is the lens that I'm looking through. So next up, we have a pair of khakis. Once again, is not a stranger to my channel at all. I styled these in, I believe it was my spring, it was in my spring outfit ideas video, and Khakis are great for work. These were also thrifted. For anyone that's new here, I love to thrift. I love secondhand shopping, so a lot of my items will be like secondhand. But these were thrifted from the men's department. They're such a great pant and great trouser. I think they are so comfortable, and I think many of us are familiar with, depending on where you work, a great trouser is perfect for the workplace. It gives you the feeling that you're in sweatpants, but you're so elevated and you're so put together. And for our last bottom, I opted for another pair of thrifted trousers. They are in this beautiful chocolate brown color. They are so great. Once again, these are a great option for when you want to feel like you're wearing sweats, but you want to be put together and polished. These are great. These were thrifted in the women's section. They are kind of like the mature pant. I don't want to say old lady, but where they have the elastic all around them, like, so it really does give you the vibe of a sweat, but it's so comfy and cozy, and it's a beautiful chocolate brown. Like I said, I was trying to be very intentional about not choosing black, because a black slack is easy and it's go-to, but I really want to challenge myself, even not just for the sake of content, but challenge myself in real life to think about my wardrobe differently and how I can dress for work, because I reach for black all the time. And so being intentional about reaching for other colors and putting different color combos together. And so for our first pair of shoes, I opted for a sneaker. I have these Air Jordan 1s that are, I believe, the Palomino. Don't quote me on that, but they're the Air Jordan 1 lows that kind of incorporate a lot of color. It has some of that tan, some white, some cream, some black, a little bit of brown accents. And so I think that I felt like it would be perfect to go with the color palette that we currently have for today's video. And like I said, sometimes on my job, I can lean to being able to do casual or business. So a sneaker is something that I realistically do wear to work from time to time. So I felt like these were a great choice. Next up, I have these cream loafers that I got from Ross, and they have kind of like this little bow detail on them. I feel like they were perfect. I love a good loafer, and they are really comfortable for work. They are very productive for work. I find myself reaching for these fairly often as it pertains to work. Never really realized that, but loafers, to me, for me and my style and what works for me in my day-to-day and my life at work, loafers are a great choice. They're very comfy and cozy, and it helps to add that polished, elevated look to your outfit, especially if that's what you're going for. And so I felt like these were a great option. And because there are times where I do need to get a little dressy for work, and I do need to be a little added, I need to be extra put together, and I might need to give a little bit more business and a little bit more polished and chic, sometimes I may need to reach for a heel. And I felt like these nude pumps from Ross would be a perfect fit. I love a pointy toe, and these kind of help add that elevation to a look depending on what I may have to do that day. Now we're getting into our 3 additional bonus items, and one of the items that I chose was a coat. We are in spring, so there are some times where I have to either be up early or I have to be working late into the evening, and so having that additional layer, or sometimes I'm going to meetings and the places that the meetings are at are going to be freezing cold, and I don't like to be cold. And so I know that I needed some type of additional layering piece, and I felt like opting for a coat would be a little bit more realistic than a blazer for this video, especially because the majority of my blazers have black in them. So opting for a coat was actually going to be a lot more realistic. It's very lightweight, but still keeps you very warm. And this coat was also thrifted. So our second bonus item is going to be a belt. I am a belt girly. I believe that it helps finish off a look and helps you look very put together. I know some people can do without belts, but for me, I cannot. So I had to incorporate a belt as one of my bonus items, and I opted for the cream because I felt like it would just be the most effective for the color palette that we are going with for today's video. And so this belt is thrifted, and we're going to utilize her to help create some bright looks. And then our last bonus item is going to be a handbag. I felt like this was necessary because I'm not going to work without a purse, and oftentimes I need one of my big bags. Once again, the cream goes with the color palette. It goes with some of our shoe. It goes with our shoe options. It goes with our belt. So I believe that it will tie all of those details together, because I do like that. Like, even if the colors may seem a little interesting, I like that there is some connection in the pieces, and not just necessarily wearing like all of these different colors and you're kind of wondering how they tie in together. That just does not work for me. That does not correlate to my style. So I felt like especially adding the cream bag will help tie it all together. And so this bag was purchased from City Trends. So now that we've seen all of the items, it is time to now put those items together and create some looks. So go ahead, if you haven't already, baby, grab you a snack, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Bye.